I'm Parthena Bowman, but most people call me Par, like in golf. And as a lifetime card-carrying member of the Hot Mess Club, I've learned a few things, and I need to surround myself with people who help me get through these hard times. People who make me laugh, take a deep breath, and regroup, and really just are my partners in crime through the crazy escapades. I also need to not seek out adventure. I generally tend to play it safe. So in 1991, I decided I was going to have my Molly Ringwold moment, and I was going to sew my own prom dress. So and being risk averse, I needed a date, so asked the guy who sat behind me in homeroom, because he said yes the year before, so I thought he'll probably say yes again this year. So, and he did, thankfully. And I'm so glad that he's the one who said yes, because he arrives that night and he has his tux on and he looks so cute and he has just cleaned up so well. I am hunched over a sewing machine, still trying to get this dress done. And he arrives and I'm like freaking out. And my mom and I go back to our closets. And I can only imagine, we think we're gonna find a fairy godmother in there, because there's not going to be any dress for prom in these closets. But we confirm I do indeed have to sew this dress. So I do, I finish it, I get dressed, we go to prom, we have a good time. And the only reason I was able to do that is because he's one of those people who made me take the deep breath, laugh, and approach it and think, okay, I can do this. And so that should have been the life lesson right there. It took me another 12 years, though, to realize that's the type of significant other I need in life. So 12 years later, I fall in love with this guy, exactly that type of person. And he was a Navy corpsman. So as you can imagine, if you have a military husband, they go on deployments. And the last deployment of his career was a whole different ballgame. It was, we had a 3-year-old daughter, a 1-year-old son, and a dog. And he was going to go to Afghanistan, and I was going to be alone in this town that was not my town, with no family, no friends, nobody like that close by, no cavalry to call in. So 24/7 with those three beings and me. And I had to keep my shit together that whole 6 or 7 months. So there's all of these long stories, like as I look through my Facebook posts from that year, it looks like the slow demoralization process. It's this beautiful journal of how it got worse and worse and worse. From, oh, we're doing all these things to help my kids, like, get ready for this and survive the deployment, to, like, my daughter is wedged between the shopping cart and the checkout counter next to us, legitimately stuck, while my son piles all these chocolate bars at my feet, like pulling them down, and everybody in the commissary is looking at us while my daughter's back there wailing and crying. And it's hilarious now. But at the time, I was like, there's nothing else inside of me to give. And so what really caps off this whole time is the last week. It's the home stretch. My husband's gonna come home and I start feeling sick. The day before he's supposed to get back home, I go to the doctor and she walks in and she has this sympathetic smile and she kind of half laughs and says, you must feel like hell. You tested positive for 2 strains of the flu. And everything was in me, I'm like, I do, I feel so horrible. And she's like, okay, we'll set you up with some Tamiflu. That'll help you feel a little bit better. Hopefully you can go out to actually meet your husband tomorrow. Great. I wake up the next day. Next morning I wake up and my eyes are crusted shut. I've got pink eye. And then my nose is still all snotty and red and my voice is all deep. And then I start itching. I'm like, what is the matter with me? I itch all over. Well, what was wrong is I'm allergic to Tamiflu. And I ended up with a rash from head to toe. So I get to go meet my husband that night for the first time in like 6 or 7 months. And despite all of that, that was like the happiest day of my life, except for maybe the birth of the kids and all of that. Because there was that certainty, you know, I'm risk averse. There's certainty, and I get to go get my partner. And my partner is the same boy who waited for me for prom way back in 1991, waited for me for 12 years to get my act together and realized that's the type of partner I need in my life. And he was going to walk off that bus, see the physical manifestation of the hot mess that I am, and he was going to help me take that deep breath again, get my act together, and laugh about all these situations and be my partner in the mess it is to have a family. Thank you.